Expected to seek out the best. Two words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducted.
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV Primetime
Our
News.
24-hour news station.
Glad to have you stay the course on Core Digest Monday. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. We open the phone lines this morning to have your opinion on some trending issues, and the first of all will be the postponement, the alleged call for postponement of elections. You overheard the NSA talked about that last week. Of course, the position of the APC and the PDP as of this morning is that both parties are ready for the February 14 election. Prior to this time also, Mr. President met with 3 of the northeastern state governors as regards election holding in that area. All of them seem to have had a consensus agreement that elections should hold in northeastern Nigeria. 2 major issues seems to be the bane of this postponement. One would be insurgency in far northeastern Nigeria. The other will be the inadequacies and the irregularities that have characterized the distribution of the permanent voter cards. Now, to crown all of this up, the United States Secretary of State John Kerry also was in Lagos over the weekend, meeting with both presidential candidates of the APC and the PDP, talking about the need to hold the election February 14 and of course to make it violence-free. I'm joined now by my colleague Ebelomo Adekunle this Monday morning. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. My pleasure being here.
You look so set for the February 14 election. Let me ask if you've gotten your PVC yet.
Yeah, no, I've not been able to get.
Okay, the same story of...
Of course, there's no need reading out the stories, but I think compared to the stories I've heard from other people, I think mine is just a mild drama compared to some others who have experienced major drama. Specifically, I went to visit my uncle, and I asked him if he had gotten his PVC, and he was saying something like, it went for a whole week, he wakes up 5, 6 is at the field where he's supposed to collect his PVC. And I think on the first day, he had an issue. I'm talking about the Denro Ishasi side of Ogun State. Okay. And the distributor, the staff, the official that was there was saying, okay, now there's something we should do. You people should be calm. We have about 20 PVCs here, and we have some for PDP, party members, some for APC, some for Labour, and everybody got angry. Like, what are you talking about? Must you be a member of a political party before you gain access or you have the right to get your PVC? And you know, different stories from different quarters, and you wonder, really, is Nigeria prepared for this February 14th general elections? Because it's just in a matter of days. And if you sample the opinions of like 20 people, more than 7 would not have gotten their PVCs. So then it means a whole lot, more than 50%, the way I'm seeing it from my own perspective as an individual and some that I have met, I think many people will be disenfranchised for this election.
Well, unlike that position, INEC said some times ago that as at January 7th, over 50% of the PVCs received have been distributed, and they are also quite hopeful that more distribution will be made. As a matter of fact, the collection of PVC has been extended to about February 13 this year. But prior to that time, the House of Representatives also made a resolution as regards the probability of using the temporary voter card.
I think that would be better. Now, another question is, where did INEC get the data from? That statistics that gave them 50%. Because if we're saying 50% of people, and I'm telling you a practical story. Now, I registered at first in Osun State because I was a student when I registered for the first time. And now I'm in Lagos. What provision do you have? I had to register all over. Now to get my PVC is a problem. And that is not just a story in like 50. That's one story in like 5. So now we know the number, we know the ratio of the people who have gotten and people who have not.
Well, it looks as if we're in between the devil and the deep blue sea, because that indeed is one of the major reasons for the call for the postponement call. But at the other side, you have the opposition party saying that, well, the major reason why calls for postponement arrived this day would be because probably one party thinks that it's not well prepared, or one party thinks that the other has, a higher ground in all of this. But do you think these are genuine reasons to call for a postponement?
No, I don't think so. I, for one, do not support the postponement of elections, because there is something about psychology. Even a baby knows something is happening February 14th in this nation. That date has been registered. And I think, well, the PDP has come out to say that we are not, as a party, asking for postponement. The fact that some stalwarts ask for postponement, that could have just been their personal opinion. But for me, I think if we would be doing this right, then let everybody use their temporary cards, not postponements. For me, I don't think postponements is the solution to this.
The challenge there will be probably a compromise on the integrity of the structure for the permanent voter cards, because it's not just permanent because it's harder or it stays longer. It's permanent because we are probably dwindling a little bit towards the electronic voting system. There's supposed to be a card reader that ensures that when you swipe it through, you find the data of the person that is coming to vote, and that gives it some more, some better fortification than the usual TVC.
You see, in the first place, when you say better fortification, the data, do we even have a database in this nation? We're talking about permanent voter card. What if the permanent, when it comes to keeping data in this nation, I do not believe we have, the country doesn't have my data. And that is why I can do anything. Even on the permanent voter card, just because you ask me to put my age and where I stay. What if I move the next day? How are you going to be able to trace me? Let's even leave that aside. So telling me that swapping the card through the machine and you have the data of the person, that is not true, because we have not been able to do that properly. As a nation, it is when from birth you begin to... Okay, I think we have a caller.
Yeah, let's take a call. Just ensure that you turn down the volume of your TV set when you're calling. Hello, good morning. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
What's your name? Terrific. We're doing fine. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Are you there? Hello? Are you there? I'm afraid we lost that. Well, turn down the volume of your TV set and let's get a quite clear conversation going on when you calling on the show this morning. Beyond getting a database, it is also important that we note, for instance, the 2011 registration from INEC. There were issues of double registration.
That,
and then
I was
INEC
going there because
cut down the
when
number.
you don't even have, even for the TVCs, we had some issues with local government elections and all of that, where some people could not find their names on the register. So now, how do you now say a permanent voter card will put an end to that problem when you've not been able to properly have everybody's name in a register? So where are you getting the permanent voter cards from? I know that if you must do a permanent voter card, you are getting it from that register where you compiled, with which you compiled everybody's name to have issued the temporary voters card. So that is what I'm saying, that if we have a major problem with the register where some people's names have been cleared, I don't know how, then how do you now, that is why some people could not even get their PVCs. Because you're not in the register, how do you get your permanent voter card? Where is it coming from? How was it generated in the first place? So I think we have not gotten this whole process right from the beginning. So right now, I would suggest that everybody, the fact that you were issued TVC, a temporary voter card, it means you were properly registered in the first place. Then let everybody use it.
It's all right. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Call Digest Monday. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Comrade Olariwaju from Ilori.
Okay, comrade, what's your take on this? Yeah, good morning.
I want to register my take based on the statement accredited to SSA, to Mr. President, somewhere in London last week.
Okay.
That, this is an eye-opener that the present government has certain high degree of disconnection. One could wonder why that somebody representing a president somewhere will be blowing horns. And Nigeria today, in Nigeria here, they will be blowing cold. That it calls for the postponement of the election. And later on, the presidency and PDP decide themselves from such statements. So I just want to appeal very strongly and passionately that they need to comport themselves to the expectation of Nigeria, if not in a globalized world, because we are expecting something interesting. Why somebody representing the president somewhere could make some statements that can be debunked within just Nigeria here. So there is need for them to see one another as one. And two, is on the issue of our PPC. I must say that INEC as a body is yet to meet some of the expectations of the people. Now, election is less than 3 weeks, and we have more than 15 million PPC available. If available, what is their business from now? Before, wonder why some people are giving excuses that they are being there, several times, wasting their time, just money to evening, that they will not have the answer to their PC. That is why most cases on this time around. I think there is much for INEC to decentralize even beyond local government. You know, directing people to go to the local government when some people do not have access to transportation from their home down to a particular place. There is need for INEC to decentralize the people, send them to their respective domain to come and give the PPC card to the people that are concerned. Because we have been known right before now that without PPC, there's no room for participating in coming election. If that should be the case, INEC as a body has the responsibility to ensure that PPC is getting to the people respectively.
It's all right. Thank you very much, comrade, for your contribution from Ilorin. Good to hear from you today. Let's just drive this home. You are quite optimistic that elections on February 14 can hold, and INEC also promised a better election. As a matter of fact, the INEC chairman, Professor Tairu Jega, says that this will be the best election yet for Nigeria. Do you see things becoming a reality?
Well, it depends on the resolve we take eventually. Because if we insist that it should be February 14th, which I support, and if we insist that we are going to use PVCs, then you'd be hurting many Nigerians. Because this is the only way we can let our voices be heard. This is the only way we can actually choose the set of people we really want to rule us as a nation. So if you're saying you're not giving me the right to vote, then at the end of the day, it wasn't necessary to vote in the first place.
Wouldn't it be too early to want to suggest that INEC wouldn't achieve much of a success before the February 13th deadline?
Well, we're talking about the timing. This PVC distribution did not start in a week or 3 weeks. So we're saying with the whole of time that has passed, compared to the number of days we have left to February 14th, it's hard to believe that we could actually achieve the things we've not been able to achieve over time in a short while to the election. Well, I still want to be optimistic. I still want to see if this week I could get my PVC, which I doubt, because in most of the fields you don't even find these officials any longer. So how possible will it be? Okay, let me give you another instance. Do you know, I don't know if you know Ogun very well, from Olambe, in the whole of that place, with the number of people living in that area, there is no place to get your PVC.
I understand
now
that.
You're supposed to travel to Ifo to get your PVC, and you go there on Monday, you don't get it. You go there. Who is going to bear the... Ordinary Nigerians who do not even have so many resources, they would not think of leaving their residence to go to Ifo to get their permanent. So now I'm saying it is hard to believe that within the space of 3 weeks, INEC would now begin to make arrangements for people in Lambe. I can bet you that if anybody has PVC in the whole of Olambe in Ogun State, we're talking about like 30, 40 people. Because who would travel every day? You're even going there the first day, you're not getting it. The second day, and you want to do that for a whole week. If you've tried for a whole week, you don't want to try again.
Okay, I expect that you are more optimistic and that you try again and again this week so you can get your PVC and make your voice count. Because it doesn't matter how good you sound, it's only your PVC that can make it count well.
Yeah, we know.
In the 2015 election. And did I say you're looking good?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ebeloma, for joining me today on the Cold Digest. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with more. Stick around and go away.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then News. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you join us another edition of
The Political Arena.
the most detailed and incisive political show.
You will see all sorts of politicians, even those who cannot manage their homes. We tell you to let them manage your lives. Look well, shine your eyes.
So stomach infrastructure is a way of life. Even if I cannot do anything, and I continue to help your stomach so that your life will keep on going. So my style is without apology. Stomach infrastructure is a way of life for me.
I should ask you, what is going right in this country? Is it education? Is it security? Infrastructure? Is it healthcare? What is going right? Absolutely nothing.
We mean to win Lagos. PDP is going to win Lagos in 2015. And that means that everybody must be on board.
INEC has colluded with the presidency, the opposing party to rig this election from the data to the end.
The successful conduct of free, fair, and peaceful elections in Ekiti is a good omen for the subsequent elections to come, and the 2015 general elections must be the best.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on Core TV News.
Thanks for joining us again. The call for postponement of the February 14 election seemed to be rife, reasons being the poor distribution of the permanent voter cards. Many are also touching on the state of insecurity, otherwise, so to speak, across board in Nigeria. I'm joined now by Bola Onanuga. He's a public affairs analyst and, of course, the editor-in-chief of the Financial Standard. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Why are you laughing?
Because we in the media, we are enjoying the storylines of the politicians as they are playing out to February 14th election. So it's very amusing and it's good for us because so many adverts are coming to different newspapers and into different media houses, broadcast and print. And it is good because most media houses will remain in business because of this. So we are enjoying it.
I see where you're coming from now. You overheard the National Security Advisor last week talking about the need to postpone an election because of PVCs. Of course, the Adamawa State Governor also pleaded with the INEC chairman sometimes last week as regards postponing election. Dasuki said about a month. James Aguilari talked about till about April. Do you see these two reasons, PVC distribution and insecurity in northeastern Nigeria, germane enough for this postponement?
Well, I didn't want to believe in the postponement of the election because there will be discordant tunes from the oppositions, and we need to do what is credible. Whatever we place on the table ought to be accepted by all. Unfortunately for us, as a people, we politicize everything that comes our way. Now, since INEC is not coming forth with it, INEC has a position rather, that they can get things done better. And the position I'm looking at is, look, all those who are registered in 2011 that could not get their PVC should go and vote. After all, there is a register. So I don't see why there should be postponement of election. They don't need to postpone it. That is one. Two, the position of Dasuki and the Adamawa State governor, they were in order. We're all working towards the same position. So I don't think postponement will help it. What will help it is that INEC should go back to 2011 register. Those who didn't have PVC or who have not gotten their PVC, as I'm talking to you now, I could not get my PVC. They told me that I'm in a zero center. Whatever that means, that it crashed. And if it crashed since 2011, after the election, INEC should have done something to come back to those few centers and sort out this problem. So while I am not against whatever anybody is saying, my position is that to move forward, because don't forget that if the election is postponed, there will still be, we are very good winners and bad losers. There will be cases in court and it has to be decided within a particular number of days. Once it is postponed, those days will be wiped off. And then the election will no more be credible. The judiciary will have their role to play. So I don't believe that that should be done. Postponement is not the right answer. They should allow people with 2011
temporary voter cards.
Temporary voter card to use.
Let's check this call out. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Turn down the volume of your TV set.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, welcome to Call Digest.
Yeah, good morning, Dr.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name remains Salisu from Niger.
Salisu from Niger. Let's have your take on this. Go ahead with your contribution.
My view is this. Democracy is young, is too young in Nigeria, and democracy has come to stay. And it has come to stay for real. And nothing can change it.
Okay.
Jega has a very strong plan for Nigeria this time around. And now I see the man named it for Nigeria. Because in 2011, there was a lot of challenges that bring crisis to this country. In terms of manipulation here and there. And it come out to say that, to tell politicians that any politician that has a voter card in his cupboard, even in millions, as they want to enter digital now, he should go, that person should go and burn his voter card. Because he don't want any ringing and he don't want any problem. But this thing has put a serious challenges in PDP. Because they don't know how they will turn their neck. Because this man has put them. And as for Nigeria, as far as Nigeria democracy is young, even though now one person got PCV, we should go ahead and vote for whomever want to vote as our president or as our governor, so that democracy can remain and strong in future. Because America doesn't have democracy in Italy. They work for it. They face a lot of challenges. So, and I see it in Nigeria. And that's what Nigeria is facing now. People should forget about, I don't have PCV. Even your guys, if you don't have PCV, they endure. Then after the election, you go and do your PCV and you have it.
It's all right. Salisu, thank you very much for your contribution from Niger. But the U.S. Secretary of State was in town, was met with Mr. President.
He will be leaving today.
And the APC presidential...
No, he met with all the presidential candidates
yesterday.
Of all the parties.
His position also was that the elections must go on February 14. What would you say is the interest of the U.S. in all of this?
No, the U.S. has no reason to come and tell us when our election should take place. However, what it did was purely advisory.
Okay.
And I respect the United States because Nigeria is the biggest and the largest economy in Africa.
Okay.
They cannot afford to lose Nigeria. And they cannot afford any violence after the election. So what he has come for was not necessarily because the election must take place. It is because the election must be fair and free. And I think that is welcomed by all of us, because the violence conference that was the violence-free conference that was held 2 weeks ago, we all applauded it. And I think this is part of the outcome of it, that several developed democracy should also put their mouths in it. And what he has come to do was purely a very good one, but it's purely advisory. He's not the one who will tell us whether the election should take place on a particular day or not. No. What he has come for is just for him to say that, look, let the election go on. And whoever, don't forget that the United States has about 4,000 military officers in West Africa. They are not just there as Lucas or Washington to be watching. They are there that in case there's violence, not just in Nigeria, in any country in West Africa, but particularly Nigeria, they will have to intervene.
It's all right. You know, some have also questioned the efficacy of all of these diplomatic arrangements, because the Abuja Peace Accord, many believe, has already been violated by the series of events that happened afterwards.
No, I won't accept that. It could be violated at a minimal level. Illiterates, touts, thugs, and all whatnot. There's something I found very interesting in this politics. After that event, I have seen government accepting the oppositions.
Okay.
Take a look at Third Mainland Bridge. They call it Federal Road. But you find Buhari picture, Agbaje picture, Ambode picture, and Jonathan's picture there. That is tolerance. We are getting more and more matured by the day. If you go to Korodu Road, you find the same thing. If you are coming from the airport road, you find the same thing. That is politics of tolerance, and I want to accept it that things are getting better. In 2011, where you find Jonathan picture, you won't find the opposition. Today, several TV stations that are owned by opposition will tolerate the incoming, or whoever they call them, the government candidates, presidential candidate, governorship candidate of another party, PDP and APC, they meet at the same level there. No, I think we are getting more matured, and I think that's the way it should be. I don't see the violation for it. A student does not need 100% to pass an exam. If we can get 50%, we are okay.
But what transpired in Katsina, where Mr. President's convoy was stoned, in Bauchi, we have the clips also where certain young people took to the street to destroy the banners and the posters. I'm not sure whether MCR can provide that picture. It happened in Kano, in Katsina, in Bauchi. Are you not baffled that these are a series of events that are becoming quite rife at this particular time, and it's taken place after such accord was signed, especially the position of the stakeholders in all of this? Initially, the APC condemned the act, but this morning the APC is now of the opinion that all of these violence were instigated and planned by the PDP so that the elections, the February 14 election, would be postponed. One would expect that at this time, the agreement will go beyond papers, but to also, reflect on what they are saying. You see, that's Bauchi just last week after the Abuja Peace Accord.
The issue is a very simple one. Between the APC and PDP, that is where this nation rests. They are the two that will either hold the nation or destroy the nation. It is not possible for PDP, from my own little knowledge of politics, to allow them to come and be stoning their own president. It is not possible. Whoever has done it, it may not be APC, actually. It may be members of the opposition. How many parties do we have? We have 14 presidential candidates, and we have 52 parties. So one will not be able to pinpoint a particular party that it is responsible. However, the opposition needs to guide their supporters. For instance, under a military government or a military personnel, this one will not happen. They will force the security agencies to come out and destroy those acts. So we have to give something to democracy. We're in democracy, and the Democrats are allowing things to happen the way it is. You won't find this kind of thing in other developed democracy. However, we are just developing.
Okay.
And all these things will help us to learn a few things.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you turn down the volume of your TV?
I've done that.
Okay, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Prince calling from Owerri.
Prince from Owerri. Welcome to Call Digest.
Okay.
Please go ahead with your contribution, Prince.
Good morning, Mr. Nyage.
Good morning, all.
I'm talking about the violence of the peace concern in Abuja recent time. I think one of the things that caused the violence, stoning the president convoy in Katsina and Bauchi, is as a result of the comments made by the state governor and the Kemi Fayeka. They added salt into an injury, into a wound. It's when you talk about trouble, and you don't really take time to stop it because of all this. You have not really solved the problem. For instance, if you cut down a tree and the root is still there, that tree will continue to do what? To germinate. So I would like us also to discuss the cause of this trouble, because of this violence, because of stoning the convoy of Mr. President. You will discover that when Ayo Fayese did what he did in the first place, what if Ayemika come up to say that the Buhari should juggle before he enter into the field to compare? You say all sorts of, if he can play his back, then after the president went to Katsina, when that happened now, you know that his way has now bouncing back to them. He has come out to say, I withdraw, we disassociated ourselves from Ayo Fayese comment. But if we have initially, they say he has disassociated himself from Ayo Fayese comment, what happened to have happened? So violence may come by your way, the way you talk, the way you have presented your way, your body language. Please, they should caution Fayemi and Kayede, because the way the man is talking, the way the man is parading himself in his speech, I see it as a time bomb to Nigeria. Now what will happen if he is to come? If that man is not being cautious, that's my take this morning.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Prince from Owerri. Do you see any relationship between the two, between what Femi Fani-Kayode and Ayo Fayese said last week and what transpired in Katsina about?
Well, Fayese has not been a good representative of his people. I will say that because it's somebody I know. He has not been a good representative of his people. He does things without looking at the consequence, and it's quite dangerous. And it's like anyone that sees his actions believes that he's been sent to come and do this, but not. You cannot attack an elder statesman like Obasanjo. Whatever he has done, you will keep quiet over it, because you are just a governor of one state. These are people, Obasanjo, Jonathan, and few of them, they have been president of 36 states. So you have to give them their credit. Even when they are wrong, you can offer them advice behind that this is what you would like to do. Fayese has not been a good representative of his people. I'm sorry to say that. The people of Ekiti are very mannered and very well educated, even more than me. But unfortunately, Fayese has not represented them properly. So whatever Fayese says, if you look at Ekiti State in 36 states, it's not enough to make a judgment on PDP or Mr. President. I will say that. However, I think Mr. President should go beyond that issue and caution him. And that caution was done. Because I saw a Buhari campaign in Ekiti State, maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. And a lot of people were there. I knew that he must have been cautioned for such things to take place. Because prior to this time, the judiciary was destroyed. Everything was destroyed in the state simply because they want to take just one decision. But this Buhari communication government campaign went well. There was no violence there.
Irrespective of the insinuated violence prior to that time.
People were thinking expectedly that there will be violence, but there wasn't. And it went peacefully. They went there and they went through it without any rancor that one expect. One will not assume that two people will enter a bus, that they will not step on each other. No. But majority of those passengers will not step on each other. that is our position. So I think it is well.
It's all right. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Call Digest.
Welcome. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
This Mahidi Abdullahi calling from Abuja.
Abdullahi from Abuja. How is Abuja this morning?
Abuja is okay. Abuja is fine.
All right, go ahead with your contribution, Abdullahi. Abdullahi, are you there? I'm afraid we lost that. You might have to call us back and endeavor to turn down the volume of your TV set when you do so. Now, moving on from here now, because we're also looking at a situation whereby we would ensure that there is no violence ahead, during and after the election. We've heard of a peace accord. We've seen John Kerry saying now that no U.S. visa for promoters of violence. That's what he also mentioned at that meeting. But beyond all of this, what role do you think that the electorate themselves have to play to ensure a violence-free process ahead of February?
Well, honestly, I will tell you, most of the problems we have in politics are caused by the electorate. Leaders can issue instruction, go and do this, go and do that. But you have to look at your own common sense. That, do I want to turn my children to something else or my wife to widow? We have not been thinking of that. And that is why you find some people, politicians, we call them, go there and destroy that place. While you are destroying the place, you could also be destroyed. So we don't need that. The electorate must ask themselves, where are the children of these people?
That's right.
Are the children not qualified to come and lead the talks or the touts? I won't allow my children to join touts. If he chooses to go and do it on his own, I wish him well. But not because he wants to install me as anything.
Hello.
Just a minute. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Tochukwu from Anambra.
Tochukwu, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, very quickly, I want to disagree with some Nigerians who say the position of the NSA is the position of the ruling party. I believe that he is the national security advisor of the whole country and not of the PDP. So his position is confined his share about Nigeria. But having said that, I don't agree that the election should be postponed. The election should go on. Anybody who has expressed his or her opinion concerning the postponement has reasons to do so. But I don't think it is wise for Nigeria at this time. But apart from that, there is this information that I think the media also should focus attention. And this is the latest thing that is trending in the neighborhood. The politicians have started recruiting agents. I don't know how they get this they got this information. They know the exact number of people who registered in every given local government, ward, and location. So even this permanent voters card that has been distributed, they know the statistics. So they recruit people to go and scan for this set of people, register them, they open different political parties, they have registered, and they register these people who have these with the aim of influencing them or intimidating them one way or the other to have their votes. The implication is that there would not be a freedom of expression of that fundamental human right of casting your vote. So please, the politicians are becoming more yesterday to ask me if I have gotten my PVC. And when I discovered she's neither an NX staff or any of the recognized staff by the government, I called a security agent on her, and the security agent couldn't do anything. So I don't know what is happening in Nigeria. Please, the media should please investigate this. It's very serious. So they're checking these people, these locations. They tell you if by the after election we don't see this particular group from this area, this will happen and that will happen. I mean, it's quite unfair.
It's all right. Thank you very much for your contribution to Chuku from Anambra. Well, isn't that just left for one to decide? Can somebody come to your house and tell you that it's either you vote for this or not when you have a PVC?
No, your landlord can do that because he holds all the aces.
I'll tell you that you might give you a quick notice.
Can do that because he holds all the aces. But the choice is not absolutely yours. You can get there and say that this is the person I voted for, but you will vote for somebody of your choice. After all, it's a secret ballot. It's not as if you are going to do it openly. So whatever your landlord says, you agree. Before you are turned to a homeless person, you agree and move on.
He also made mention about the comment of the NSA. That's the National Security Advisor. You recall also that INEC said that the issue of postponement is not left to it to decide, that it will be a recommendation from security agencies. How do we separate the position of the NSA from the position of instituted authorities? And do you think that someone occupying such an highly esteemed position, should that comment be just thrown away, given our partisan perspective or given the position of the opposition at this time?
Don't forget that Dasuki spoke from London. So he was not speaking within the Nigerian boundary. So it was just an ordinary comment. Okay. And he also mentioned that he is speaking from his own personal perspective view. So he was not speaking from the position of the government, which cleverly we should accept. Now, INEC is a national body. Most of these problems are purely INEC problems. One, since 2011 that they have done the temporary voters card, you don't have to wait for 4 years before you start distributing it. It doesn't make any sense. Jega is somebody I applaud and respect. And most of the people he has in his cabinet, they are the people I respect as well. However, he has not done well. You cannot, from 2011, that you have done temporary voters card, and you have just started distributing in 2014. That's absolutely unacceptable. How many days does it take to produce PVC? And why will some people be removed from the position just for you to produce PVC? For instance, you have people who are, I belong to the Zero Center. Okay. A Zero Center is a center that the computer crashed. It is normal. But what are you looking at from 2011 up to now before you now detect that some centers have crashed? No, it's just weakness of the system that is operating.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please, can I contribute to the program?
Yes, give me your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Jos.
Okay, Wale from Jos. How are you today, Wale?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
Yeah, just one thing I want to say first and foremost, that our religious leader, especially we Christians, those of us in the north, we see what they are saying. The religious leader should not dabble into politics at all. They should speak for heaven's sake. Just leave the politicians on their own. They should not dabble. It's funny now, some people now saying that the camp presidency, the Christian leaders should come to Abuja to come and pray for the president. That if you are going to fight him, pray for God. I know what is this nonsense. And when you see people that are talking like this, they are graduates. Some of them with master's PhD. It's annoying. It's annoying. The traditional leadership is not into it. The elections will go ahead on 14th February. It's sacrosanct. Let everybody, when people are not collecting their activities, if you go to a local government, go to the ward near my place, they are there sitting down. Go there.
And people were saying that they did not get their PDC. If you see the PDS, who they are going to connect to PDC, they will not go. That is the problem of Nigeria. And on the NSA, he's not talking on his own like the man is saying there. I don't believe he's talking on his own. He's an appointee of the executive. He cannot just go out and open his mouth anyhow without the knowledge of the president. It's not possible. And if they did that, I will fire him. After I pray to you, go and be talking extra. As if you did it because people are talking. PDP has not said the election should go ahead until yesterday. Until yesterday, before PDP talk, the APC rejected the other political party said it should go ahead. Do we need people to come from America and come and tell us that how we will govern our nation? Until this man came to Nigeria on Saturday, I don't know, this American state that the election must go ahead. Must we? Must we? We can't continue like this. And to cap it on, the election violence is not good. Look at what they did in Rivers State. It is so pathetic. Most of us are condemning people in Katsina, the way they throw to the president. Our president is our president. Until May 29, every Nigerian must support him, every Nigerian must respect him. And look at what happened in Bauchi. The Bauchi state governor came out and said that it's PDP member that stole the president. So the PDP should not join us to conclusion and say it's empty. Just to go out as that. And like the man rightly said also, most of their children are not here. I don't have money now to even move my house from Southern and from Southwest. So I have money to pack all everything I have one day and to move the talkless of place. And they have private jets. They will pack their children around the way. So please, if you just help us, use this program to beg this politician until February 14th. Let's play according to the rule. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wale, calling in from Jos. He made mention of Rivers State. I think we should just quickly touch on that. They say battle-ready soldiers have now reportedly taken over the Amisimaka Stadium. That was the same stadium the PDP presidential campaign team used for their campaign. And then just a few days afterwards, the Rivers State government claims that it's under renovation, that the PDP would not be able to use it for their West Day election. What do you call that a right step in the right direction?
That is because there has been rudeness, stubbornness, and battle-ready approach in Rivers State. Don't forget that our president, with due respect, grew up from that environment. He got his wife on a free bail, I'll call it, from Rivers State. That's Dame. And he had worked severally with Amici. And suddenly, there was a breakdown of relationship. In my own tribe, people will tell you that there is no friends, no friendship without quarrel, and there is no quarrel without relationship.
Okay.
Instead of them to resolve it maturely, they were using ego, the two of them. Whatever must have caused it is not enough to put Nigeria on fire. Like what they did in the West, in the days of Akintola and Awolowo. We are not supposed to experience that anymore. Just one particular region put Nigeria on fire and destroy the entire politics. That's what they are working at. And it's absolutely unacceptable.
What's the role of the security agencies in all of this?
The security agencies will do very little because they will get command from different positions. The president is the commander-in-chief. The police is controlled by them. Even if we have state police, the governor will give instruction. And that is what they will follow. If the governor is fighting the chairman of the local government, he will give instruction. They will go and crush the man. The president, with due respect to him, he hasn't given an instruction. When Mbu was there, Mbu didn't go to State House to go and destroy anybody. Even the person that was, his head was broken and all sorts, was not of PDP. And he was just a supporter of Amici. And it was the police that did it in his presence. We need to get certain things right in this country. Security agencies are not supposed to use against enemies, oppositions. That's what we have not gotten right. That's why some states, like Lagos, they are calling for state police. But we don't need it. You can't have state police in a democracy that is just maturing. People will quote you, quote everywhere. You won't find a governor using state police against anybody. No, it's just for crime protection. But the reason why we are calling for it is for political reasons.
No, the River State is a region where we've had 2 explosions with political insinuations shrouding it. We've had
political assumptions
and all of that, because we've never heard of any terrorist act in that place. How come, party secretariats are now being bombed and all of that? This is the same place where we've had issues coming up here and there. Don't you think that political agents should, security agents should have taken a clue from that and focus their attention on that region as we count down to the February?
I think Mr. President has to be blamed. He has to be blamed. If there's an explosion there, he has to be blamed. And there was an explosion, so he owes the blame.
What about the state governor?
The state governor,
the chief security officer of River State.
The state governor will not blow up his own secretariat. After all, he has crossed to another party. So he won't go there to blow it up. But the assumption points at the opposition in the state. And if it has been done, they have to ameliorate the concerns of the people. The issue is whether it's done by PDP or done by the federal government, the one factor is that the federal government will be held responsible for whatever happened there. Because in the last 1 year, they have been at battle, on the battlefield together. So the federal government should have done everything possible to make sure that secretariats of all parties are properly protected. That is one. 2, the issue of bomb, and some people say it's from Boko Haram.
Hello?
It's difficult for Boko Haram to travel that far.
Just a minute, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome to Cold Digest Monday.
This is Zebedee from Abba.
Zebedee, how is Abba this morning?
Very fine.
All right, go ahead with your contribution.
I want to contribute to this, to the matters arising.
All right, you have the floor, Zebedee.
So the issue, based on the things that have been discussed this morning, the only thing I understand that is happening in this country is the leaders are not being truthful to us.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
They are using us to play for it. That is what I understand. Because look, PDP, when they come for their campaign, last time they came to Enugu, instead of them to tell us what they were able to do for us, what they end up saying, Buhari killed this, Buhari don't kill this. If Buhari go for their own campaign, the same thing, making the followers to be angry with each other. And that is what is bringing all this problem. They have signed peace accord. They want peace. But the comment they make the followers become so boring to each other. Quarreling to each other, destroying things because they never tell us the truth, even though they have signed for that peace accord. And that is what is the problem that we are facing in this country. They are playing politics with the passion of people, with the mind of people, with the heart of people. And that is that.
It's all right. I believe you made a point there, Zebedee. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's stay with Rivers for a while. One would have thought that in this kind of a situation that the Rivers State Governor and Mr. President, unlike the way you have put it, that Mr. President should be taking responsibility, that both of them should be responsible at this time for whatever it is that is happening in that
No, I don't believe Amechi should be held responsible. I believe that Mr. President should be held responsible. Amechi is not the commander-in-chief. Now, when an incident occurs, you cannot reverse it. It has occurred. The best thing Mr. President ought to do is to move in. Because whatever happened in South-South, 1, is part of Nigeria. 2, is part of his own particular estate. It's from South-South.
But I just made mention this issue of the Adoke Amisimaka Stadium, the same stadium APC used. And then River State government is saying it's under renovation, that PDP cannot use it on West State. Does that make any political sense.
Is that the only place they can use?
Is it right for the River State government to deny the presidency to use it for its own campaigns?
You are now discussing what is right or wrong. What I am saying is that it might be wrong for River State government. It's wrong for River State government to say that they want to put it under innovation immediately. However, there are alternatives and options for PDP to use. So it shouldn't have been a battleground, because the people that will be affected when the trees fight is the grass that suffers. When the elephant fights, it's the grass that suffers. Who are the grass? It's the people. And some of those people are PDP people and APC people.
That's all right. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Yeah, welcome to Call Digest. Yeah, please turn down the volume of your TV set. Okay, you're calling from Anambra. What's the name again? Frank. Okay, please go ahead with your contribution. Frank.
They are busy deploying military in Port Harcourt in order to do work. And is there any work going on in Port Harcourt? So I believe the government should decide as much as possible.
Frank, are you there? I'm afraid we lost that. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, welcome to Call Digest. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Adedayo, calling from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, Adedayo from Texas. Can you get the live streaming now?
No, I still can't get it. When I'm on live, if I click it online, it will just take me to about 4 hours download recorded. I try it on my tab, I try it on the laptop. It's still doing the same thing.
Okay, we're working on that, but what's the mood of Nigerians in diaspora as regards the February 14 election?
Well, so far so good. Like when I was in church yesterday, when I tried to raise an issue with some people just to know their own opinion, and everybody's just talking about the insecurity in Nigeria. That's the number one priority of a lot of people, that the security challenge people are facing in Nigeria now. That's in fact, even though if you read any newspaper, any news here, all the newspaper you read there, the negative report they are writing about Nigeria, it's just like you think Nigeria is a war zone. Thank God that some people that understand the terrain in Nigeria, we know that there are problems just from some areas. But if the president or the military did not need this thing on time, he's going to get to the state. And it's like everybody's done. They think it's a war going on in Nigeria. Like the Daily Times that I read yesterday, the second page, before the Daily Times can give you a second page. And I think John Kerry was in Nigeria. Is it Nigeria? Is it yesterday or before yesterday?
He's still in Nigeria as we speak.
The Daily Times here have to pick it up, and they know anywhere John Kerry go. Maybe there's a war or there's a problem there. That's why John Kerry has to travel to Nigeria.
Well, Adedayo, when you watch TV, Adedayo, just a minute. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
When you watch the recorded version of this show, you see me wear tie and suit. And my guest is also here. There's no war in Lagos, Nigeria. There's no war in Nigeria, actually. There are just few challenges in northeastern Nigeria.
I understand. I understand. But your question is, what is the people in the diaspora think about Nigeria? I'm saying what people that are not Nigerian, they are thinking about Nigeria.
Okay.
If you we that you are from Nigeria, we really don't understand what is going on there. But the way they will paint it, they will write a column that there's a war going on in Nigeria. They don't say that there's a war going on in northeast Nigeria or some state. That's the way they will portray it.
I see. Are you there? I'm afraid we lost that. But then, okay, it's still there.
You were discussing in the studio today, and I tried to check on your Twitter whether you tweet the topic and your guest.
Okay, there are opinions from some quarters suggesting a postponement of the February 14 election. Two reasons arrive here. Some bits of delay being experienced in the distribution of the PVCs and insecurity in northeastern Nigeria. Let's have your take on that issue in 1 minute. There are opinions from certain quarters, suggestions that the 2015 election should be postponed as a result of some delays being experienced in the area of PVC distribution, as well as insecurity in northeastern Nigeria, like you mentioned in your opening remarks.
Well, to me, I believe that the people on the northeast, if they have their own opinion, they will want the election to be shifted because they are the ones facing all the problems over there. But I need to have more than 1 year. I believe INEC is the one that February 14 for this. I think the one that February 14 for this election. And I don't know why they didn't get ready up to this moment. And they are trying to tell them that if they have an issue regarding security, that would be better if they want to postpone it on the days of security. Or on the days of INEC is not ready. That is not an excuse.
It's all right. Adedayo, thank you very much for your contribution today. Call it in from Dallas, Texas. What's this issue about the international opinion about Nigeria? What's our ambassadors doing as regards educating the international audience as regards the exact situation of things within the shores of this country?
The appointment of the ambassador and high commissioners for Nigeria, sometimes it's right, sometimes it is wrong. People who are not diplomats are appointed for political reasons, to occupy offices for political gains. So they didn't have, but having said that they didn't have the necessary experience to do that, it is not that it is wrong. The people around them are good enough because most of the people around them are diplomats. Okay. But eye service and wrong positioning did not allow them to offer the right suggestion. We don't need to have all this. But thank God that somebody calling from Texas, it means they're watching these stations from afar. And thank God that people are calling in from different parts of the country.
We had a call from Malaysia earlier this morning as well.
Good. So it now shows that we are moving forward. We are not sitting back. People will ask questions and they will be better responded to. I agree with the last caller from Texas. One, insecurity didn't start yesterday. So INEC should have understands how it will work the election through, even in the Northeast. The issue of insecurity is particularly in the Northeast. It's not in the entire country. So that's one. Two, the issue of PVC distribution, like I said, that's right. 2011 was what we got our temporary voters card. It should not have been an issue in 2014. Okay. As much as I respected Professor Atairu Jega for his credibility, I found it very hard to believe that we should still be struggling for PVC on the eve of an election, 20 days to the election. It is absolutely unacceptable from him. He's a man of integrity and credibility. As a media man, I hold him in very high esteem because when I was in the university, he was the one that was leading ASU. And he fought against the Babangida government to stand still. And based on that point, so I expected him to move on And from 2011 that we got the temporary card, it shouldn't be in 2014 that they should be bringing it. Even if a particular area crashed, the computer crashes or whatever, it should have gone back there and announced to the people. One of his major problems is that his communication gadgets are very weak. Like I'd say about Jonathan, his own communication personnel, like his finance people, they are all weak. They are not using the right people. And if they are using the right people, they don't have the right lieutenants.
It's all right. Well, Olanuga is the MD, Editor-in-Chief of Financial Standard and a Public Affairs Analyst. Thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
On Cold Digest. A big thank you to all of our callers. Comrade Olanuga called in from Ilorin, Salisi from Niger, Prince Oweri Abdullahi from Abuja. We had a dropped call. We hope that you can call us later on. You can also follow us on Twitter at Cold Digest Live to put all your comments and your inquiries on the show. So you could call in from Anambra, as well as Frank, Wally from Jos, Zebedee from Aba, and our international viewers. We had a call from Malaysia, and Adedaya also called in from Dallas, Texas. Thank you very much for calling in today. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter at Cold Digest Live, and Cold Digest hopefully gets better as we bring another exciting edition your way tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.
Core TV News, expanding your view.